I'm doing a full-time PhD and I'm in my third and final year. I did suspend it a couple of times in between. You are given some allowance to do that for very specific things. And I had some health issues along the way, and of course you don't plan for those.
It's going to be absolutely all-consuming, and one is going to have to juggle that and juggle life and everything else, and sometimes that isn't so easy.
I do not have much time for my family or friends like I used to do. So that's the biggest downside of me doing PhD. But at the same time, I think it's good in a way to show to my daughter, mommy is doing what she wants to do in my status of life,
When you're juggling lots of other things, including little human beings and work and everything else that comes with life, it can be overwhelming and really difficult. And there have been times that I've really questioned whether or not I could do it. And I've reached out to friends and family members and also to my supervisors, and I've been okay and I've got back on track.
So I think really you kind of have to know yourself and think, okay, how do I work best? And where do I need to get my support from? So some people might need to get it from student networks. Some people might have some kind of issues in terms of going through stages of depression, or they might have depression anyway. That doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't do a PhD.
I think we're now really geared up for support. I mean, in so many different ways. I mean, we all have support services for health, for anxiety, because also the nature of PhD, if it's part-time or full-time, lots of things can happen in one's life over that. And so those support mechanisms are really, really important.
Quite often it's a solo journey for that student. So I think one of the things that a tutor can do and a supervisor can do is enable students to build up a really good network so they don't feel isolated, because the risk is in taking on a very large project over a very long period of time. It can feel like you're sort of one person on a raft, I think.
You might lose some friends along the way, but I think it's also good to let friends know, this is going to be really full on. So, we used to go for coffee once every month. We're probably going to do it now once every 6 months. And sometimes they don't really understand that. You just got to think, this is something that's going to take over my life, and let everybody else know it's going to take over your life.
Don't undervalue what you have experienced up to that point, whether that's professionally, whether that's being a parent, whether that's health, or whatever that experience you've had is valuable. So don't let that stop you from bringing your voice to the table, because it needs to be heard.